Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Today we are doing a video dedicated to the new Wet n Wild collection. I have the eyeshadow palettes, some of the eyeshadow singles, I have lip liners, liquid lipsticks, liquid eyeshadows, foundation, highlighter, a bunch of the new stuff. So I want to show you guys swatches and like review all of this stuff for you guys. So if you are interested in this video, just keep watching. I feel like I look a little ghostly today with this lip color and I'm just like super pale, but that's okay, right? I don't know. Anyways, okay, so let's go ahead and start off with the eyeshadow palettes. So Wet n Wild, iconic for their like eyeshadow palettes. I mean, everyone on YouTube has been raving about them for years because they are pretty cheap and they have a really, really good formula. The shimmers are just super soft. But I noticed that over the years, there were not a lot of mattes in the line. And so Wet n Wild kind of put out new eyeshadow palettes and reformulated, put out like more shades and things like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off with Comfort Zone. So Comfort Zone used to be 8 pans and now they are 10 because they added 2 matte transition shades to it. So this one is the iconic Comfort Zone. You get kind of like a row of more neutral shades, a row of like greenish shades, but now you get a warm transition and then like a cranberry color. I am wearing this palette today. I have this one all over the lid, this one in the crease, this one on the outer corner, and this one on the brow bone. Now, okay, there are a few duds in this palette. So the blue-brown shade is kind of sheer. It's not great. And something I've noticed kind of across the board with these is that the shimmers, you get hard pan pretty quickly if you use your fingers. And that's how I typically like to use shimmers. I use my finger and just kind of apply them like that because it gives a really nice, pretty, like pigmented foiled look. And so I do notice that you get hard pan when you do that, which kind of stinks. But overall, I don't feel like the shimmers in any of these are as soft as the old formula, but the mattes are really, really good. So that's Comfort Zone. The next one that I'm going to talk about is not a basic peach. So this one, you get a bunch of warm, orangey, lovely shades, and then you get a blue. The blue doesn't really make sense in my eyes, but it is pretty. That is the one dud shade in this palette though for me, just because it's not super pigmented. Now, I will say this too, the shimmers across the board are not the same type of formula. So you get some that are more like chunky and glitter, and then you get some that are more like just smooth and straight up, just kind of metallic. So they're not the same across the board. In this palette, you are getting two mattes in the 8 pans, and then obviously the 2 transition shades are matte, and then the rest are shimmers. I really like the transition shade up here because it's a very light transition shade. So if you are somebody who has a lighter skin tone, this transition shade might actually show up on you. Overall, I really like this one. The blue is just kind of the dud in my opinion. Next, let's talk about Nude Awakening. This is more of the cooler toned palette that you are getting. So I like these transition shades as well. This one up here is obviously lighter, and then this one is darker. So it's just more cool tone, so it's a little bit different. And this one, you're getting the 2 mattes as the transition shades, and then these 2 are matte, the highlight and the cranberry shade. Oh, and you're getting a matte black in this one as well. I really like this palette. This is probably one of my favorites out of this one, and then what I'm going to talk about next are my 2 favorites out of the line. I really enjoy this formula. I just feel like overall this palette performs very, very well. Next, let's talk about my favorite. This one is Rosé in the Air, and this is probably going to be a lot of people's favorites because of the color selection. It is very similar to like Modern Renaissance. It's super warm. You get some pinks, you get some orange. Most of these in here are matte. The only 2 shimmers you're getting is this one and this one. I kind of like you're getting a like cool transition shade or more of like a neutral one, and then you're getting a warm transition shade. So, and this one isn't super dark. You're getting a matte brown, a matte hot pink, a matte red, a matte orange, matte highlight, matte mauve. I really enjoy this palette, and I think I like this one the best, not just because of the colors, but also because of the matte formula. I just like the matte formula more than the shimmers in these palettes. So that is the 10 pan eyeshadow palettes. Like I said, my 2 favorites are definitely Rosé in the Air and Nude Awakening. I do want to hit on packaging really quick with these. It kind of throws me off because when you look at the palette, I'm going to try to do it without blinding you guys. So when you look at the palette like this, you see that all of the shadows kind of go this way. So it would make sense, I feel like, to open it that way, but you don't. You open it this way to where it looks like that. So, but then the writing is, so it just kind of throws me off. I just was like, wait, what? Where do I open it up at? It's not a huge deal, but it does just kind of throw me. I will say the 10 pans are only $5, so that is a super good deal. I don't think if you get any of them, I don't think any of them are like straight up duds. I think some of them have some dud shades in them, but overall, none of them are horrible. My two favorites, like I said, Nude Awakening, Rosé in the Air. All right, that's enough with the 10 pans. Let's go on to the quads. So Wet n Wild has had trios in their line for a really long time. Silent Treatment, Walking on Eggshells, Sweetest Candy. Those are amazing. I love those so much. But again, they were all pretty much shimmer. So Wet n Wild kind of reformulated them and put them out in quads. So they added a matte transition shade. I didn't get like any of the old shades like Silent Treatment or Walking on Eggshells. They do have those old shades in quads, but I wanted to try some new shades. So I got this one, which is Hooked on Vinyl. You get a lot of warm shades and then you get this really pretty teal. Again, the shimmers in here, you get hard pan super easy. So the only matte you're getting in here is the one marked Transition, which is a nice matte transition shade. I really like this. I don't notice a formula difference between the 10 pan and the quads. The quads are selling for $2.99, so a really good deal. This one is probably the biggest dud that I've tried, and this is Petal It. This is like the really pretty purple one, and I was like, no, I love purple. But purple is really hard for brands to do, so it kind of makes sense that this is the dud. I like, again, the matte is really nice, but the shimmers in here are just kind of flaky and they don't really show up very well. So I really wish they kind of wouldn't have reformulated the shimmers. I like their old shimmer formula better, but the mattes are really good. So anyways, that's kind of my feel on those. Now, with the little singles they put out, they reformulated these. In the display at Walgreens, I can only find Brulee and Nutty, which were always a part of their line. But when I went online, I noticed that they had 7 shades of singles plus all like the glittery ones. And so they were really pretty. So if you want to try some of the new single shades, definitely go online. Now, they only have 4 10-pan palettes, and then they have 6 different quads to choose from. So I wanted to throw that out there as well. So this is what Nutty looks like. This is just a really pretty, nice, neutral, shimmery color for all over the lid. And then Brulee, I'm sure you've seen a million times. It's just like a matte cream highlight shade. So I really like those. Again, the mattes are better than the shimmers in my opinion. Okay, I want to touch on this really quick. Sorry, I have my little like notes right here, and so I want to make sure I say everything I want to say. The one thing I do like about the packaging is that there's not a whole lot of extra. I hate when there's like a bunch of extra packaging and I'm just like, why do I need all of this space? It's so annoying, especially if there's like not a mirror or something. I like that you can see through them, and I like that it's just super easy to see which like palette you're using if they're laying down flat. And I like that there's just not a lot of extra stuff. Okay, I think I am done with eyeshadows. Let's move on to the other stuff. So, okay, foundation. I'm wearing this today. You guys know that cushion foundations are kind of like a hit and miss for me. I love the one from Maybelline, but I didn't like the one from L'Oreal. So it's just kind of different. I never really know how I feel about it. But this one is only $8.99. And honestly, for a cushion foundation, it is pretty cheap. But for Wet n Wild, it's pretty expensive. You are getting a mirror, and then you're getting a little spongy thing that I actually like to use this to apply. I feel like I get the most coverage when I use this. Now, if we remember the Wet n Wild like color correctors, Wet n Wild contour cushion thing. Actually, let me grab that. We remembered that the lid you had to unscrew, you had to take the little sponge off, and then you had to take this little lid off, and then there was your product. Well, I think Wet n Wild kind of heard our cry. So the lid just kind of pops open, and this part just goes over. It doesn't, like, you don't have to take it all the way off. So the packaging is much, much better than those smaller cushion products that they have. Now, again, just a standard cushion kind of foundation. I really like it. I think if you want to try a cushion foundation, this is probably one of the cheapest ones that I have seen for $8.99. Again, more expensive for Wet n Wild, but for a cushion foundation, it's pretty good. I do wear the shade Light Ivory. It says it's light neutral. So that's the one that I got offline. It has an SPF of 15. It's cruelty free. And again, it doesn't have like the most full coverage because it is a cushion foundation. I think it's meant to have a little bit lighter of a look, but you can build it up. Like I have some discoloration right here and I have some right here, and I could just add a little bit of product in those areas when I like where I needed it, and it covered up pretty well. And I could have gone in with concealer and stuff, but to be honest, I just don't really care today. And so it feels really good on the skin. It doesn't keep me super matte. I have oily skin, and so this kind of does give me a more dewy look, and it does break up a little bit. So I definitely set it with the powder, and I definitely blot and add powder throughout the day. So it's kind of, you know, whatever you want to do as far as like what you're willing to put up with from a foundation and what you're not. I don't mind feeling like I need to blot and powder throughout the day if I feel like I don't have a really thick layer of foundation on my skin. So that being said, I think that this is a good foundation. I'm not like screaming its praises and like, oh my gosh, this is my new holy grail. But for a cushion foundation, it is really good. Okay, let's talk the new Hello Halo Liquid Highlighter. I did get the one in Halo Goodbye. I love this. I am wearing it today, and it is beautiful. The doe foot is huge. It's honestly like very reminiscent of the Tarte Shape Tape doe foot, like how big it is. So I like that because I actually just put it on the back of my hand and then take a highlighting brush and just kind of put it on because I don't want it to be like super like one line. I like a very blended look, especially if I'm going to work. Again, there's not a lot of excess packaging, which I like. The lid isn't even really big or anything. This shade, I think I saw on Instagram that it was like a dupe for Benefit's High Beam, and the formula is really good. There are 7 shades of these. They sell for $5.99. Oh, and I'm sorry, there's 8 shades in the foundation. So they sell for $5.99. They are really smooth and they are not chunky. They don't accentuate texture. They blend really well. Like you can still see it, but it doesn't like, you can build it up and you can make it really intense, or you can kind of sheer it out. It's a really great kind of liquid highlighter, and I definitely recommend this. I love it. All right, let's talk one more eye thing. So the liquid eyeshadows, these sell for $4.99, and like I said in my haul video, I think they originally put them out in like their mermaid collection or something, and then they've made them permanent since. So I did pick up 2 shades. I got Cashmere Love, which is a more like cool toned, somewhat neutral type of gold type of shade. And then I have When Stars Align, which is a black base with like a purple, gold, kind of almost duochrome green type of glitter in it. These are very, very glittery. I will definitely say use a glitter glue with them. I didn't the first time I used them, and I had glitter all down here by the end of the day. So these are not a really like smooth type of formula. They're kind of chunky, and I would definitely use a glitter glue with them. I don't know. I would honestly kind of skip out on these. I don't really think they're worth it. I don't think they're that great. They just kind of like just are too high maintenance for me. I just don't really like them. Okay. Ooh, this is the Ultimate Brow Retractable Brow Pencil. I got the shade Ash Brown. This sells for $3.99, and they sell 4 different shades. I love this. You get a spoolie on one side and then a pencil on the other. I do like that the spoolie has a lid. I like that brands are doing that more because I don't like when my spoolie's all like grody and stuff. I like that, you know, there's a lid for it. This is a really good pencil. It reminds me a lot of the Maybelline Total Temptation that I recently tried and reviewed. It's a really nice formula. It's not super creamy to where I have to be like, whoa, really careful. I'm going to have Sharpie brows. But it's also not like a super stiff, hard formula where I'm like, I got to like scrape my brows on, you know? It's a really good middle of the road formula. I really enjoy this, and I think anyone would. If you're looking for a good, inexpensive brow pencil, or just a good brow pencil in general, definitely pick this up. I like it because it is that kind of triangle-shaped brush. It's a pencil. Duh. It's a triangle-shaped pencil, so it's not I don't really like really small, thin pencils because I feel like it just takes me too long. I like this because I can just kind of like angle it perfectly, draw my line, and then just fill in, brush it through with the spoolie, and I'm good to go. So I really like this pencil, definitely recommend. All right, I think let's move on to lip stuff. Where'd my other lip liner go? I had another one somewhere. Oh, I think it's in my purse. Hold on. Okay, I got it. So they came out with new formulas of their gel lip liners. I love these lip liners. They are only $2.99. They are so creamy. Oh, I love them so much, but they set. They're not something that's like going to be so smeary and things like that. The shades that I got that are new, I got the Juice, which is a really pretty like pink-based berry color. And then I got Lay Down the Moths, which is honestly not as pink as I thought it was going to be, which I don't hate that. I like that it is a more kind of brownish, like neutral type of lip liner, because I can wear it with everything. The formula on these is so good, so I definitely recommend these. I think they're awesome, and I love the new shades they came out with. All right, the last thing I want to touch on are the liquid Catsuits. These are not new. They came out about a year ago, but they did put out new shades. They only sell for $4.99. It's amazing. I love this formula so much because it is pretty thin. It doesn't feel super cakey on the lips. It's not overly drying. It's just a really good liquid lip formula, and I really do like the packaging. I like everything about it. So the first one that I got that is new is Caramel Cake, and that's the one I'm wearing today. It's a little bit different for me, to be honest. I didn't know it was going to be as dark when I ordered it online, but it is kind of like a dark brown. I don't wear these shades very much, but I don't hate it. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. I don't know how I feel about it. And then the other one that I got is Behind the Bleachers, which is just a really nice kind of like pinky red, but it's muted. It's not like so intense. I'm kind of into those shades right now that are like reds, but more muted. Like the new Superstay Matte Ink from Maybelline, the Ruler. Love that shade because it's red, but it's muted, so it's not like super bright and in your face. It's still more of like an understated red. So I love this one as well. Okay guys, so let's do the rundown of my favorite things. I think overall, I really do enjoy the eyeshadow palettes. I think some of them are like, some of the shades are kind of like duds here and there. But overall, I think they're a great bargain, and I think Wet n Wild is still doing those pretty well. I wish they didn't change the shimmer formula though, but that's just me. The foundation I really like, and the highlighter I love. The brow pencil I love. To be honest, it's probably like the brow pencil, the liquid highlighter, the lip liners, and liquid Catsuits are like my fave things that I have tried. Well, or like the new shades I've tried. And then I would say it's probably like the foundation and the eyeshadows for a close second. And then lastly, the biggest dud was just the liquid eyeshadows. I just don't like them. They're too chunky for me, and there's just too much glitter fallout. I can't handle that. So that is it for this Wet n Wild rundown. Thank you guys so much for really wanting this video and just for your support, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you did. I have more drugstore reviews coming for you guys, so make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye!